So the Battle of Helms Deep is without doubt one of the greatest battles ever to be witnessed on the big screen. However, the fortification they are defending is absolutely horrendous, so let's take a look at some of its flaws and how we could fix them. First off is the location of the keep, and it's backed up against this cliffside, which is in itself a double-edged sword. If you are attacked, you only have to focus on fighting on one front, which could help if you only had a limited amount of men to defend. However, it also means the enemy has an easier job of surrounding your entire keep and starving you out. Helms Deep is also extremely lacking in the ditch department. This one down here is a real life example from Warwick Castle, and I must say, what a majestic ditch. The Uruk-hai would have to fill in your ditch to get closer to your walls and then put their ladders up, buying you valuable time so you could shoot down arrows on them. As the old medieval saying goes, make ditches, get bitches. The deeping wall, or this slower section, is also where castle building war crimes are committed, as the battlements only come up to chest high, as you can probably see up here, with Legolas making the upper part of your body, or the most vulnerable part, prime targets for enemy archers. A few machicolations along this wall as well would be extra juicy, allowing you to shoot down at anyone at the base of your wall, and maybe, just maybe, some white wizard has developed gunpowder bombs and is about to blow your wall up, so that could be stopped. On many castles as well, you see towers protruding from the wall to create a killing zone along the base of it, as it could be covered from every angle. And to Helms Deep's credit, it does have one just here, but why not have them all along the wall with machicolations so the entire base of the wall is a massive killing zone? While the Hornburg, or this main area of the keep, does have some redeeming qualities, it's not much better than the deeping wall, and I first want to look at this absolutely horrendous gateway. Firstly, why isn't there a drawbridge here so you can lower and open it so you can control who comes near your gate? And if you didn't have one, why didn't you go about destroying this entire bridge if you knew an army of 10,000 Uruk-hai was coming your way? The gateway is also this tiny pathetic wooden door lacking any sort of portcullis. However, I will give it credit for this wooden thing above it you can open up and throw spears or rocks down at your enemy. The gatehouse should probably also look something like this, with two portcullises and gateways so you can trap the enemy in this section and rain down arrows and spears from them from above while they try and break down your second door. The side door though, which Aragorn and Gimli sneak out of, is an excellent addition, allowing you to make assaults on the enemy as they're attacking your gateway. However, it's probably not very good for sneaking in supplies during a long siege, as it would be pretty visible to the enemy. What I do like about the main keep though is this area here, as when the enemy breaks through the gates they have to come up this stairwell to get into this section here, and it's subject to attacks from this area and this area here, and it's often called a Zwingering Castle, and it's a designated killing zone where you can rain down arrows from the enemy, which is all I've been asking for this whole time. This curved area here is also fantastic, and it's a feature you see in a lot of castles, as when the enemy break down the gate they can't just rush straight in, instead they have to go through, stop, turn a few times and come in, and it also stops the entrance of larger siege engines. However, it does lay itself down again, as I believe the entire keep is connected through walkways like this with no gateways to block it off, so if you took the deeping wall, you could then just get round the back of the enemy very easily, and then if you took this entire section here, you could just walk straight in to this main keep here. Ideally, you'd have gates here to block off access, so once one part of the fortress falls, you could fall back and defend the next area, as in the movie, once the outer keep falls, the whole defence just turns to shit. I'm sure there's many more things you could amend, but a lot of these defensive fortifications will allow you to buy more time and save more lives until Gandalf arrives, and it will make your enemy commit more men in order to take the castle. So the Battle of Minas Tirith is without doubt one of the greatest battles ever to be witnessed on the big screen. However, the fortification they are defending could use a few upgrades, so let's take a look on how we could fix it, as we already did for Helms Deep. The fortified city is built into this cliffside and is kind of protruding outwards, and unlike Helms Deep where you could just surround it on one front, to lay siege to Minas Tirith you need a massive army to surround all of it, as I imagine there's loads of secret exits in the cliffside and along the walls you'd have to cover so they can't sneak supplies in and out. However, it does sit on an extremely flat plane of land, making it very easy to approach with an army and siege engines, so ideally what we'd want to do is dig loads of ditches in concentric circles around it, so approaching it is a lot more difficult, and maybe they wouldn't be able to bring the giant battering ram which is Grond up to the gate. As the old medieval saying goes, make ditches, get bitches. Compared to the absolute mess that was Helms Deep, the walls of Minas Tirith here are absolutely fantastic, as the battlements actually cover the full height of a person and even have these arrow slits in it, so you could fire your shot off and then actually have cover while you wait to take your next shot. Unfortunately though, it is still lacking in the matriculation department, so you couldn't shoot straight down at enemies at the base of your wall, but to its credit, it does have a lot of these towers protruding out from the wall, so you can cover the base of it by standing at the top of the tower and have an angle to shoot straight down. The gatehouse I also think is fantastic, as to get to the gate, you need to enter this giant killing zone here, where you'd have archers either side of you above, firing down arrows on you, and also chucking other unpleasant things on you, such as fire, to burn your entire gate-pounding operation down to the ground. I would also love to see a giant portcullis behind the gate for added protection, and maybe even a second gateway here, and if we had a ditch, we could have multiple drawbridges for the enemy to cross to stifle them even more, maybe something like this example down here. The defences also have multiple trebuchets along the walls, situated at each level, causing massive damage to opposing armies and their siege engines, and they could be a massive pain in the arse to take out, as you'd have to capture every single level. However, the orcs kind of cheated by having mythical beasts. And if you wanted to take the entire fortress, you'd have to take every individual level separately, and I believe they are all cut off by gateways, so if you are defending and you lose one section, you can just fall back to the next section, and it would force the enemy to commit a massive amount of troops. And if you are attacking it, you'd probably be absolutely knackered by the time you got to the top here, so you'd probably have to spend numerous days attacking each level and solidifying your position, but the defenders could be really annoying and then just shoot down on you from the next level above. Overall, Minas Tirith is an extremely defensible fortress, which you'd need a vast amount of manpower and the greatest siege weapons possible in order to take it, which is exactly what the orcs had, and I'm sure you could make minor improvements here or there all along the fortress, but compared to Helms Deep, it's miles clear. I just wish one of them would dig a ditch though.